Hey there, Divine Feminine. So it's crazy. I feel you, and I want to get a reading because there's so much going on in the ethers, and I feel like the Divine Feminines could use a little bit of support right now. I have a message here from Sanat Kumar. Light activation, shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. There's going to be a lot of confusing energies that are going to be pulling you, sort of like pulling you off to the side, pulling you left and right. But I actually feel as though you're going to be dealing with some semblance of confrontations. I don't think this is a confrontation with your masculine. They feel very busy at this time. But Divine Feminine, like whoever it is that you are, it's going to be important to shine your light. Rest, have faith. I think a lot of you have been stuck in this oh, what do you want to call it? Sort of this karmic notion. Sorry about the glare. I don't know how to set up my table so it's anti-glare. I really feel like the energy is just glaring at you at this time. It may feel as though someone, oh, okay. So you're being projected on. There's some kind of projection energy going on. And in order to combat it, you need to rest. There's an ask for you to really seek out your sense of inner peace, especially when it comes to your sense of creativity and just surrendering to things that you love and enjoy. Darkness cannot overtake you when you're happy, but when you're still struggling with actually feeling happy versus pretending to be happy, like that's where the healing has to activate. So if this sounds like your situation, you are more than welcome to stick around. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berry, psychic medium and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they are also timeless, so please tap into your instincts, listen to your intuition. If there is anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you. It does resonate. Please let me know by liking and sharing your experience in the comments below. I keep getting the outlaw. Like, here's the thing, Divine Feminine. Maybe you are willing to admit, or maybe you have been accused of having, oppositional defiance disorder. What? No, shut up. Fuck you. I feel like this energy that you're being surrounded by, there's actually some kind of desire to, um, defy the authority. But I think this is your internal authority, the version of you that tries to make you accountable to being a good working person. And that's a toxic energy that a lot of wounded masculines tend to be prone to. You're being asked to really simmer into your feminine energy right now, which is actually going to feel like a bit of a contradiction because a lot of masculines right now, they're trying to kick up the energy. They're trying to get shit done. They're trying to fight the war in order to bring about peace, but you're being asked to do the opposite. Like you are being asked to sit back and be your own inner peace in order to defeat the war. What do we have at the top right here? We've got the underworld. This is a lot of your I want to say the inner shade, but it's actually you're getting so good at tapping into the collective unconscious that you actually, the way that you've been seeing your darkness, there's actually an ask for you to look at it from a different angle. Like that's interesting. It's sort of like the way that you've been looking at your shadow, you could kind of see it, but you kind of not. But there's a different lens, a different light code activation available to you that you're going to be receiving, I'm hearing in your dream state, that's going to help you understand what's going on in your subconscious reality. Compassion, fate, along with the warrior. On one hand, you've been over compassionate to the wrong people, the wrong energies, and the wrong situations, especially with people who are wounded and broken, and in a lot of ways over apologizing for people who've been cruel towards you, who've been mean and rude. It's okay to forgive, but there's actually something about having a semblance of compassion for yourself. You shouldn't have been, I can't say you shouldn't have been hurt in the first place. The past is the past. It's more that What can you learn now so that you don't put yourself into another situation with another karmic person who's going to go out of their way to say mean things to you? This is actually part of your particular journey, but for you personally to explore it, it does again require you to retreat and have some semblance of rest and hearing rest and reciprocity. If somebody within your field is not interested in pursuing peace, then they're not for you. Anything that agitates you, that makes you feel like this, ungrounded, upset, all this kind of stuff, that energy needs to go away. That energy is not divine. It is demonic. It is an entity. Anything that is trying to glom onto you is negative energy. And there's a lot of it going on around you. Like you could be picking this up from your neighbors, strangers, comments on the internet. A lot of you have withdrawn from social media because you know subconsciously you need to protect your peace. I'm going to grab the Urban Crow. We got the card of resistance. Because I've been going for a lot of walks myself. I've been noting that there have been a lot of crows. And I live next to a magical forest, so it's actually quite nice. Every so often, a couple times per year, I get what I call the murder choir. And I swear to God, there's like 100 crows and they all come together and conference with each other. I haven't heard a murder choir in a little while, but I guess secretly I'm trying to hope to manifest something silly like that. There's an ask for you to start manifesting sweet things into your life. There's plenty of things going on in the world that is awful and chaotic, and you're not being rude, dismissive, or in some ways, I feel like for you, you're not being all la la land about it. Sometimes people, when they have trauma, they plug their ears and they're like, la 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 la, don't talk to me about bad things. You're not doing that. I don't get the sense that you are doing that. At the base over here, observation. Yes, I love this card. This was totally my card of 2024. You need to be observational. When things crop up into your reality that would normally trigger you or anger you, you're just being asked to take a step back and ask yourself, why is this showing up? Why is this appearing in my reality? Rather than acting, reacting, and freaking the fuck out, feeling like something's trying to follow you or something is trying to come out to get you, there's a shift going on. And if you're able to have that sense of rest and retreat so you can repair your body, repair your mind, restore your connection to source, you will be able to weather out this chaos quite eloquently. Because everybody's going through this. And again, because we have the card of the warrior, it does put you into a position where some people will try to get you to align with them. They'll try to force their opinions onto you, force their belief patterns onto you. Those are bullies. And it's one thing to be a warrior for yourself and not asking for anybody else to defend you. And I will say, you do have witnesses. When you're getting out of your karma and you're starting to work past some of the last latent issues of your of the dark night of the soul, of coming out of a habit of living within darkness. Like there's always a last ditch effort to keep your vibration low, but you're going to actually get to the point where there will be witnesses. And it's not as though they're going to be able to do anything for you physically, but there will be some kind of support for other people who are also learning to observe their situation. I feel like you've been trying to cash in on this. There's been something you've been saving up. And I don't think you've been doing this consciously. But there's something that has been accumulating that is going to make you want to retreat in order to receive these light activations. Got the card of risk, sacred space, resistance came back, play. I'm going to get one more card. Isolation. This actually does feel very good. Like a past version of you would say that I have to keep pursuing this, even though it drains me. I have to keep pouring my energy into this, even though it makes me feel like shit, because that's what love is supposed to be. Love and faith should energize you, and it shouldn't be taking from you. When we're in karmic situations, sometimes we get caught up in that But again, that's a demonic energy. That's actually negative energy, feeding negative energy, but it's going so quickly that it creates an artificial sense of forward motion. But really, it's just a poor little hamster on a wheel going in circles, going nowhere. But you've been saving up for something, whether that's saving up time, saving up vacation, saving up money. There's something that you have actually been saving up on. And honestly, it could, this, here's a silly way of looking at this manifest energy. Like, I lost my job quite a few months ago. And while I was really upset and taken aback by the situation, I kind of realized looking around that I stocked up on underwear, I stocked up on socks. I went ahead and bought some clothing, and I even purchased some other like personal hygiene products that would definitely keep me going for like 6 months to a year. It kind of made me realize subconsciously I was saving up for something where, I'd be afraid that I wouldn't have the means to pay for the basics of life. And there's something about your intuition has actually been helping you out this entire time because there's a shift that's going to be occurring. Why? Because you have a very unique way of going about your business, Divine Feminine. There's something about your purpose, your own sense of style, how it is that you like to express yourself, even if it is through the mathematics and the sciences. You have a very creative notion, and this light activation at first is going to feel like you are being put into a risky situation. But with this thing with Sanat Kumara, you are divinely protected. So when you're divinely protected, yeah, you got to get out of your comfort zone to try something brand new, but it's going to be worthwhile. Like, there's a tasty treat for this delightful little crow over here. You are entering into sacred union, but in order to have sacred union, you must be in union with yourself. That's why I talk a lot about unity consciousness. While I do throw tags out there saying the twin flame journey, because I'm trying to capture the attention of people who are really focused on a masculine energy that hurt them, to help them understand why they got into the situation, what kind of power that they can be able to tap into from within, and then be able to move forward in order to balance out your own masculine and your own feminine consciousness. You have a brand new beginning, but what's been happening is that because you've been over dedicated to toxic energies, you have this illusion like you're creating a family, you're creating an empire, or you're creating a business, you're creating a nest egg, like a financial nest egg, but then it gets drained again. And it's because you've been so focused on trying to create a union with the external. You're being asked to really focus on your internal unity, and that requires you to rest, get to know yourself, fix your body, heal your body and your mind, and trust that even if you have to withdraw yourself from certain activities, groups, situations, that this is going to be the best thing for you. Because if you're feeling resistance, it's not for you. You're supposed to enjoy your life. Like, you're supposed to have fun. Because until you're able to have fun, find a semblance of true enjoyment, it's difficult to magnetize in things that are within your vibration. Because when you're in constant resistance, it means that you're pouring way too much energy into things that are not meant for you. There's something here that's meant for you. I have the card of fate. The universe is bringing your manifestation on a beautiful little like satin pillow so that you can finally enjoy the fruits of your labor and have a sense of individuality and autonomy, knowing that you can pivot and move and do whatever it is that you need to do in order to achieve your goals. But a lizard brain version of you still thinks that it's wrong to be alone, or it's shameful to be alone. Like this, there's something about, the joke of like, the 50-year-old spinster, whether she's never been married before or she's divorced, like the lonely divorced aunt. There's some kind of TV archetype that you might have over identified with that prevented you from feeling your sense of worth. And as a result, you gave yourself over to masculine energies to do the work for you in order to prevent you from realizing you have to do this by yourself. It doesn't mean you're going to be lonely forever, but it means that you need to, if you don't know how to enjoy life solo, you are not going to enjoy life in partnership. And if you don't know how to go about your spirituality, in unity, you're not going to be able to magnetize other people who you can enjoy that union with, whether that is having a brand new community, magnetizing a healthy and balanced love relationship, being able to create a family that is, well-founded and cohesive, like, a safe place for kids to learn, thrive, and fuck up. Because sometimes that's what family is. It's just to create a foundation where kids can screw up, but, they still have the wisdom and the support of the parent to teach them so that when they finally go off on their own, they know how to, they have some skill sets to work with. There's some big picture thinking in here, Divine Feminine. I do want to get a few cards because I want to kind of quickly see if I can get you some guidance, especially when it comes to, I want to have a very quick look at what is the main challenge in this energy? What is the blockage? What's blocking you from feeling okay about going out and just enjoying your life on your own terms? And what kind of guidance and outcome, the next steps within your journey? What is it that Divine Feminine needs to know? I'm going to cut this. But your sense of reciprocity needs to change. You have been over committing yourself to people that in some ways they were like you. They didn't feel like they were good enough alone. They felt ashamed with the idea of being alone. So it turned into what you hoped would be a loving relationship, turned into a transactional partnership. There we got the lovers, 2 of cups. Like I'm seeing a lot of repeat cards over the last couple of days as I've been channeling more frequent Divine Feminine messages, and a lot of these cards keep coming back. Where, what kind of person do you want to be in a divine union with? Because if you can't see yourself, the beauty of everything that you are in a partner, even if they look nothing like you, there's something about getting out of this idea of looking for partners that look, act, behave, and sound like us. And it's caused a semblance of racism. It's caused a lot of sense of having intermixed religions, having a lot of arguments, and then people just being superficial about what love is supposed to be. Because there are people that will, partner up together just to have the appearance as though they're not racist. And it's kind of these things where if you have to prove that you're not racist, it means that you're struggling with an inner sense of racism. Now, I'm not saying that may necessarily be you, but this may be something you have observed. And it's time to put up a healthy boundary because it's overwhelming you and giving you a big fucking headache. What is okay. Biggest challenge. You need to be honest with yourself. Like the King of Truth with this King of Swords, you have to be honest with yourself, honest about the path and the past. We've got another crow hanging out up over here. So you're probably getting a lot of symbolism when it comes to different animals. I'm suddenly drawn, we got an owl. I have never noticed this dragonfly before. I've had this deck for a couple of years and I only just noticed this dragonfly. This is a Truth Transcends Illusion, and I believe this is a bat. Is that a bat? That seems very bat-like. That's a little bit of Hanged Man energy, but this is a Hanged Man that's finally taking flight. If you aren't able to have a look at your past with it's one thing to be compassionate, but it's another to look at your past without passion, observation. Like, remember what we saw with the Urban Crow before we went to cut? Can you observe your past? Like, forget the counterpart, forget the karmics, forget the divine masculine. What is it that you have done? Because we actually too have 2 swords within here. And that is about making a decision. You have to make the decision on how it is you wish to view your own sense of your own past. What kind of story are you telling? Because you're telling a story that's rocking the boat and keeping you fixed. It's sort of like you're on shore, but you're still too worried about losing your shoes. You're still too worried about getting your suitcase wet. You have some baggage from the past that only you can release. You may be subconsciously waiting for an apology. You could be subconsciously waiting for someone to get their shit together. There's nothing wrong with asking for those things. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that someone could apologize, but you got to throw it out there and then you have to release it. And if they show up and you can tell their vibration is sincere, then you can kind of get back onto calmer waters and work through it. I feel like this is the fantasy, but you're not detaching from it properly. What kind of guidance would Spirit have? You got to get independent. You got to be able to learn how to feel this way on your own. You have to learn how to navigate resistance and navigate around it, knowing what energies are worth engaging or disengaging. This person that you're dealing with, I feel as though an apology is possible, but you won't accept anything less than their best, which also means that if they're not coming forward, you're not at your best. It's not up to them to make you feel better. It's up to you to make yourself feel better. What's the potential final outcome? There's a little bit of back to school. I have been picking this up a lot, quite a bit recently. It's time to go back to the books. It's time for you to start relearning what it means to be in a relationship, self-care, maybe because we have creativity. I feel like you're going to be given a chance to start learning something brand new. Like, is there a class that you've been wanting to take up on that you've been delaying because excuses, excuses, excuses? Is there something that you've been intrigued about diving into? There's something that is calling to your soul and really asking to be explored, but it may require you to let go of this person. This person might judge you, like whatever it is you want to study. And if this person is going to judge you, well, then they're not in your vibration. And why would you lower your vibration just to appease this person? You need to have faith that you're doing the right thing. It's time to rest. Because if you're not willing to rest, you're not going to be able to listen to yourself. Hyperactivity is what keeps you fixated on the wrong problems, but there's a gift being revealed to you, and it requires you to self-discover it. I can't tell you what it is. You can't get this person to tell you what it is. Only you actually know the code, but you do have angelic support showing you what this light is supposed to be. Like, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. What is it the Divine Feminine needs to know as we close out today? Isolation. Isolation. If you feel the need to isolate, it means you're not ready to speak your truth. Doesn't make you a good or bad person. It just means that you're entering into a cycle where you can be insightful. This is a chance for you to learn to grow and be able to finally tune in to your powerful energy. Just trust that you're learning to reclaim your own energetic resources so that you can finally cultivate and pour your time and energy into something that will help you feel stronger, feel good about who it is that you are, and finally be able to shine the light of who it is that you truly are. I'm just saying. Wow. Well, Divine Feminine, whoever it is that you are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. Thank you so much for sticking around. Check out the description below if you need any kind of support during this time. Join us on Patreon for some very powerful Reiki meditations that'll help you tune into your creativity and be able to cut cords with toxic people and toxic energies. Otherwise, when I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.